You have never seen a dragon, yet somehow your ancestors already had. Long before airplanes crossed the sky, long before scientists dug fossils from the earth, people on nearly every continent told stories about giant creatures with scales, claws, and impossible power. China had dragons. Europe had dragons. The Middle East had dragons. The Americas had dragon-like serpents. Even cultures separated by thousands of miles imagined strangely similar monsters. How? Did ancient people somehow share the same story? Or were they all describing something they actually believed existed? The answer begins millions of years before humans built their first cities. Imagine walking across an empty valley. Half buried beneath the dirt, you notice an enormous skull. Teeth longer than your hand. Bones thicker than tree trunks. No living animal looks anything like it. What would you think? Without paleontology, without museums, without evolution, the simplest explanation would be terrifying. Something gigantic once lived here. For thousands of years, ancient people discovered dinosaur fossils without knowing what dinosaurs were. Modern historian Adrienne Mayor documented dozens of cases where fossil discoveries likely inspired legendary creatures. Ancient Greek travelers found giant fossilized bones in rocky deserts. Chinese villages unearthed enormous skeletons that were ground into traditional medicines known as dragon bones. Even today, fossil bones are still sold in some regions under that name. But fossils alone cannot explain dragons. Something else was hiding inside the human brain. Psychologist Carl Jung believed humans naturally create similar symbols across different cultures. He called these archetypes. The dragon may be one of them. Think about everything humans feared throughout evolution. Snakes, large cats, birds of prey, crocodiles. Each one hunted our ancestors. Now combine them into a single creature. A serpent's body, an eagle's claws, a lion's strength, a crocodile's jaws, the ultimate predator. Neuroscientist David Eagleman explains that the human brain constantly searches for patterns that improve survival. If something even remotely resembles danger, your brain reacts first. It asks questions later. That instinct kept our ancestors alive. Then there was fire. European dragons breathe flames. Chinese dragons control storms. Many ancient civilizations connected dragons with nature's greatest forces: lightning, floods, volcanoes, earthquakes. When people couldn't explain disasters, they imagined powerful beings behind them. Sometimes dragons represented destruction. Sometimes they represented wisdom. Sometimes they protected sacred knowledge. The dragon became whatever people feared most or respected most. Then something remarkable happened. Real dragons appeared. Not giant flying monsters, but animals that looked close enough. The Komodo dragon reaches more than 3 meters long. Its bite contains dangerous bacteria and venom. To someone seeing one for the first time centuries ago, it would have looked like living proof that dragon stories were true. The discovery of dinosaurs changed everything. Scientists finally realized the enormous bones belonged to creatures that really had ruled the earth. Not dragons. Dinosaurs. Yet something fascinating remained, even after science explained fossils. Dragon stories survived. Why? Because dragons were never just animals. They became symbols. Symbols of fear, power, greed, wisdom, chaos, courage. Every generation creates new dragons. Sometimes they're monsters. Sometimes they're impossible challenges. Sometimes they're the fears living inside our own minds. Maybe the reason every civilization invented dragons is because every civilization needed something large enough to represent the impossible. And perhaps the greatest dragon you'll ever face won't have scales. It will be the one your own imagination creates.